Once self-hosted, you can create an agent pool and increase parallel jobs to increase speed. Also, an external Git connection to hook into other Git repos. The hosted agent has a version for macOS for iOS apps, and regular hosted. You can run the Windows 2019-2022, or Ubuntu 18.04+, or macOS 11+. For macOS you use hosted macOS, and for the rest it's hosted. Defect escape rate is the metric that assesses the collective quality of the software releases by evaluating how often errors are discovered and rectified in pre-prod versus prod. To send a notification when code is committed, you can create a service hook subscription that has a code push event. The hooks can be HTTP or HTTPS. A parallel test runner will help you validate test logic when deploying a pipeline. To connect Jenkins and Azure repos, you need to add the TFS plugin to Jenkins, and create a path for the Azure DevOps and Jenkins accounts. The dependency tracker extension allows you to create dependencies at the beginning of an iteration. Consumer is the team who has a need and starts a request for work. The producer is a team who makes a commitment to delivery work. To deploy a project using Visual Studio Resource Group deployment, you can use PowerShell to deploy -Azure Resource Group.ps1 that copies all artifacts and deploys the template, or you can add multiple steps performing each step of the task. If you need to share a repo with an external party, you can create a new feed for the package. You can create an at-pre-release feed view, and then when a package is tested successfully, it can be promoted to the at-release view. Azure SQL Database Deployment Task, DACPAC. Used in a pipeline to update the DB, run scripts, or you can use SQLCMD. Deployment groups is the set of targets which the pipeline will run against. They are used to deploy VM resources against. You can create a deployment group, then add the Azure Pipelines agent extension to the VM, configure the deployment group job for the pipeline, and then execute it. To configure ACI in a hosted environment for running AKS containers, you need an as-add group create, a role assignment, kubectl create, and then a YAML file to kubectl apply f. To configure AKS, you can create a service principal as-add sp create for RBAC and then as AKS create, then finally assign the role, as role assignment create. The AKS health check has a liveness probe and a period of seconds probe as well. There is also a success threshold for the time the test can run. Crashlytics is good for Firebase are good for reporting.